Of the dozens of characters that Dragon Ball has done dirty, Gohan is considered by many to be at the top of the list. But what if I told you Dragon Ball Super fixed Gohan's character forever? Now, if this is your first time hearing that, you probably think I'm crazy. But I've been saying for a while now that Super has put Gohan in the best position he's been in for a long time. Many Gohan fans may agree with me, many may disagree. I'll be breaking down every argument against Gohan's treatment in Super, explaining why they're actually strengths for the character, and how Super treated Gohan better than even Dragon Ball Z did. First, to explain how Super did Gohan better, we need to start from the beginning with Z. At the beginning of the show, Gohan is shown to have potential surpassing that of his fathers. This is constantly foreshadowed until the Cell games, where Gohan transcends the limits of the Super Saiyan form and becomes the first Super Saiyan 2. After Goku's sacrifice, Gohan is left to defend the Earth as its protector, leaving many fans assuming he was the natural successor to Goku. Then, the Buu Saga happened. Now, let me be clear, I love the Great Saiyaman Saga. I loved the slice of life elements it played with, I loved how it handled Gohan's character development with Videl, and the general fun of the story. It was a nice break after the intensity of the Cell Saga. The only thing I disliked was what came after. It was annoying to learn that Gohan largely neglected his training during the time skip, but it was at least worth something when Elder Kai unleashed Gohan's potential, granting him his ultimate form. He went to face down Buu and put up a fight unlike any other. Then, something happened that Gohan almost never recovered from. He lost. After Gohan was absorbed, it seemed like Toriyama had no idea what to do with him. He built him up as a natural successor to Goku, but with Goku's return, you can tell Toriyama felt Gohan was redundant. So what else was there to do other than have Gohan lose to Buu? But Toriyama went further than that. When Goku attempts the Potara fusion with Gohan by tossing him an earring, Gohan fails to catch it as part of a gag. Then again, Toriyama goes further by killing off Gohan along with most of the main cast at the end of the Buu Saga. At the end of Dragon Ball Z, Goku and Vegeta are the ones fighting Buu. Gohan is no longer involved. This, sadly, became the dynamic for years to come. But before we get to that, I want to reiterate something. While the Cell Saga definitely built up to the best moment for Gohan in Dragon Ball Z, the Buu Saga built up to the worst moment for Gohan in DBZ. Because of this, I think it's totally fair to say Dragon Ball as a whole was not the best to Gohan. It ended his character in a bad place. While he's able to become a scholar and a family man, he's no longer a top fighter, leaving him with no relevance in the series. Now you're probably wondering, but Toon Raider, if you think the Buu Saga treated Gohan poorly, how do you think Super did any better when we got Resurrection F? And I'll get to that. But first I want to establish that the Gohan we see in Battle of Gods and Resurrection F is literally just the Gohan we saw in the Buu Saga. Think about it. In Battle of Gods, he's drunkenly prancing around as the Great Saiyaman, making a fool of himself. From his battle performance, it's clear he didn't keep up his training. And when he learns Videl is pregnant, the excited family man can't contain himself. Then again, in Resurrection F, although he's able to turn Super Saiyan, Gohan makes it clear he hasn't kept up his training. In the Dragon Ball Super anime, this is made even worse by him looking way weaker than he was in the movie, and he becomes a husk as he uses the last of his energy to give Goku a chance to teleport to Earth. This, undoubtedly, was the worst part of Super and a bad way to start Gohan's arc in the series. Then, something amazing happened. Gohan was ashamed of his poor performance and went to Piccolo, asking him for more training. Unlike in Dragon Ball Z and the movies, where Gohan failed to keep up his training multiple times and lost important battles, Gohan actually realizes he needs to be stronger to protect those he loves. He realizes he needs to train. In the tournament between Universes 6 and 7, Gohan declines to get involved because he's busy at work. That's fair. Then, during the Gohan Black arc, Trunks chooses not to get him involved. In the manga, it's made clear that he's still training and would definitely help if someone asked him to. Then, during the Tournament of Power, Goku calls on Gohan and he accepts after learning that, if they lose, Universe 7 would be erased. Although Gohan wasn't ultimately the last one standing, he still had several great moments in the tournament, especially the manga where he was the one to fight Kefla and knock her out. But it's what's before this tournament that I want to highlight. In the lead up, Gohan spars with Goku. During this interaction, after Gohan refuses to turn into a Super Saiyan, he tells his dad, "I have a new goal now, an ultimate form that no Saiyan has achieved before. I'm going to pursue this form by going down a different path." Then, during his fight with Kefla in the manga, Gohan says, "I choose to keep evolving as a human, not as a Saiyan. I'm not relying on my Saiyan blood anymore." These lines are both clear indicators that Gohan is looking to improve himself in a unique way from Goku and Vegeta, in a way only Gohan himself is capable of. Then, in the Moro arc, Gohan got involved in the battle against the escaped prisoners, putting up a decent fight as one of the most powerful fighters on Earth. By this point, it should be clear that Super has been on track to redeeming Gohan since that disastrous Resurrection F moment. But more than that, people forget that they've also been redeeming his infamous decline in the Buu saga by actively working to improve himself and fight for his family. Then, the superhero arc happened. The first time we see Gohan in this film, it seems like he's not kept up with his training. Then, Piccolo goes for an attack, just for Gohan to block it, letting him know he still hasn't gotten rusty. Suddenly, Piccolo goes for a sneak attack, this one actually landing. The implication, of course, is that Gohan hasn't been training all that much, but the fact that he was able to block Piccolo's first attack does prove to me he's at least kept up some basic principles. An important point in this film is that Gohan is dedicating more of his personal time to his work, but it never outright says he gave up training altogether. Piccolo even notes that Gohan's been slacking. Then, at the end of the movie, Gohan says he had been practicing the special beam cannon technique in secret, showing he's at least been training with energy techniques. Then, the big moment happens. Piccolo pretends to kidnap Pan, Gohan rages out and unlocks his ultimate form once more, then unlocks Beast as Piccolo is beat to a pulp and destroys Cell Max. Now, I know there's some fans who feel like Beast was unearned, but like I said, Gohan's been working toward unlocking a power unique to him for a while. Given he was in this ultimate form when he ascended, it would seem to me that this beast form is one unique to him. We also know it's not related to his Saiyan side, as Whis later confirms as much in the manga. So that also keeps it consistent with his goal of not wanting to rely on his Saiyan blood. Plus, if people are upset about him being angry and suddenly getting a rage boost, you gotta remember that's been his character since the beginning of DBZ. His best moment in the Cell games was a moment where he got really angry and unlocked Super Saiyan 2. Sure, you can argue that he only did that after training with Goku, but remember he had already been training with Piccolo since Resurrection F for a while. Even if he took a small step back from training just before Superhero, Gohan basically got a trial by fire when he fought Gamma 1, awakening his abilities and easily sliding back into his role. When he ascends to Beast, it's not out of nowhere. But okay, even if you're not convinced, you can't deny that Gohan is now the strongest warrior on Earth, because since Super began, Goku and Vegeta have mainly been in space, the future, or alternate universes. When they do return to Earth, it's normally just for relaxation and family time before they quickly return to Beerus' planet to continue their divine training. After the superhero arc's conclusion in the manga, we got a short sequel arc that really highlighted Gohan's strength. When Goku hears from Vegeta, who himself heard from Bulma, that Gohan may have surpassed the two Saiyans, Goku decides he has to put Gohan to the test. But before that, he is able to sense Beast Gohan from Beerus' planet. This is a nice callback to Resurrection F. Last time Goku felt Gohan's ki, it was him barely being able to project enough energy to make himself a target for Goku to teleport to. Now, Gohan simply transforms and Goku is able to easily detect his ki and teleports to him instantly. After a brief warm-up against Goten and Trunks, Gohan then faces his father. First, he transforms into his beast form at Goku's request. Goku and Vegeta both are shocked at the sheer amount of power Gohan possesses in this form. Then, as the sparring begins, it's clear that Gohan has obviously become a match for his father, as the two are fairly matched. Then, Goku reminds Gohan that he doesn't mess around when it comes to training, then goes on the offensive. This forces Gohan to try even harder, charging up, then launching a series of attacks until he finally hits his father. Vegeta observes that Ultra Instinct simply couldn't keep up with the speed of Beast Gohan. Goku reverts to his base form and asks Gohan how he pulled that off. Gohan explains that he charges his ki just until he's about to snap, then simply maintains control. It's at this point that Whis points out, as I said earlier, that Gohan's newfound power is one all his own. Goku calls an end to the fight, and it's at this point he says something that really solidified for me the point of this video. Goku says, "You're about the only one who could master a move like that in no time flat, Gohan. Kudos, really. Honestly, I can rest easy knowing the Earth will be safe once I'm gone." When I read this for the first time, I was teary-eyed. This was no longer a Gohan who neglected his training and was focused purely on his studies. This was a Gohan who balanced work, family, and training. A Gohan who knew he had to fight to survive. This was a Gohan who transcended his limits once more. This was a Gohan who, at Goku's own admittance, was capable of protecting Earth in his absence. He would no longer need to act as a human summoning stone for Goku. No. This was a Gohan who would replace his father as Earth's protector once more. This was Cell Saga Gohan. Not just the Buu Saga Gohan fans hated for years during the dark times before Battle of Gods. This was a Gohan who fans could root for and watch grow and evolve. Whether you loved how Gohan unlocked the form or not, what truly matters are the stories to tell afterwards. For the cover of Volume 24 of Dragon Ball Super, Toyotaro depicts Goku, Vegeta, Broly, Piccolo, and Gohan all as equals. He explained this is to show they're now all at a similar power level, with Black Frieza on the back cover, indicating that he's their target. Finally, Gohan is no longer idly training off-screen and vaguely foreshadowing his next evolution. Now, he's part of the main cast and he's capable of protecting Earth in Goku's absence, while also being a father and a husband. In this sense, they've preserved the hard-working, loving father and husband that the Buu Saga established, while returning to us the overpowered warrior that the Cell Saga delivered. By melding the two sides of Gohan's character into one beast, Super has effectively fixed Gohan's character forever.